Coming up on Sports Paws, men's and women's soccer start their playoff runs.
And it was a big weekend for Quinnipiac basketball as the men's team headed down here to Queens, New York to take on Rick Pitino, and the women's team hosted the Harvard Crimson in their home opener.
And men's ice hockey starts ECAC conference play.
All that and more on Sports Paws starting right now.
Welcome inside Studio 125 for another edition of Sports Paws, and happy Veterans Day. My name is Ben Rukavicius, and I'm joined alongside Tony Wetmore.
Yeah, Ben, the Quinnipiac women's soccer team was in the midst of its playoff hunt. On Thursday, they hosted the Canisius Golden Griffins in the MAC semifinals, looking to reach their fourth straight MAC championship appearance. Canisius entered the semifinal after a 2-0 win against Merrimack in the quarterfinal round. Quinnipiac looking to defend their home turf and punch that fourth straight ticket to the MAC championship. Heading to the first half, it's a boot from the center of the pitch. Sofia Lospinoso makes a diving save on the rebound to keep it scoreless. We'll fast forward to the second. It's a corner kick from Rachel Roman. Aisling Spillane gets her noggin on it, but defender Sofia Constantino knocks it away with her own head. But Courtney Chokehold broke it open. She fires a shot from outside 18 into the net, a beautiful hooking shot, breaking the tie at the 51-minute mark. After struggling to finish against Iona, Spillane made it back, no problem at all. Juke move, right foot, back of the net. The Bobcats double their lead, and it's pure elation in Hamden. And Spillane would strike again off a free kick from Roman. Spillane puts it in off the header for her third goal of the postseason. The senior from Ireland has been red hot for the Bobcats. Late in the half, Canisius tacked on a late consolation goal off the boot of junior Mia Iacona over everyone's head to break the shutout, but the Bobcats would hold on as they rolled to the MAC championship. 3-1 is your final as the Bobcats offense finally catches fire and has another great showing.
With a regular season 2-0 loss to the Stags still fresh in their minds, the Bobcats return to Lessing Field with one thing on their mind: the three-peat. The regular season loss to the Stags gives Fairfield home field advantage throughout the entire tournament, and they hold on to it as the battle between number 2 Quinnipiac is a rematch of last year's MAC championship. Bobcats came away victorious in that one, winning 1-0 in Hamden. Stags trying to prevent their in-state rivals from three-peating. Let's jump to the first half. Ella Gagno swings the ball over to Rachel Roman, who takes a look from deep, but goalkeeper Katie Wright contains that one of her 2 saves on the afternoon. Later in the half, Fairfield's Kendall Patton puts a chance into the box, and Sam Cursor fights for the touch, but Sofia Lospinoso gets involved, denying the deflection over the top of the crossbar. That's goalkeeper of the year type of save. Moving into the second half, Roman puts up another look into the box for Molly Andrews, but she just pokes that one shy of the goalpost. We remain scoreless. Under 17 minutes to play. Megan Carragher puts a free kick into the box. Lospinoso tries to come out to make the punch save, but she can't stop the momentum of the ball. Maddie Theriot cleans it up for the score, number 13 of the season for the Golden Boot winner. Crowd in Fairfield counting down the final seconds, and the Stags storm the field and celebrate on Lessing Field. The Stags dethrone the Bobcats, stopping the three-peat, winning 1-0. The Stags win their first MAC championship since 2008. They shut out the Bobcats. Lospinoso finishes her Quinnipiac career with 6 saves. For the first time since 2021, the Bobcats will not be in the NCAA tournament.
Following the championship loss to its in-state rivals, Q30's Rose Carrata spoke to head coach Dave Clark about the program's future.
The Quinnipiac Bobcats lost to the Fairfield Stags in the MAC championship game for the first time since 2021. They will not be heading to the NCAA tournament. The question is now, where do they go from here?
Don't change anything. Keep your process, and that's what we've done the last 3 years, is go to work right away. Don't take time off. You know, you're a Division 1 athlete. You're not just a Division 1 soccer player. There's an athlete, which is 365. There's times you'll have days off here and there, but you don't take that time off.
Coach Dave Clark talks about training the incoming players.
We've got a couple of players coming in January, starting early. So getting them started, that'll be key. And, you know, even players like Morgan's still not 100% from her broken leg. Getting her more time this year. I know she thinks she should have been playing more, but yeah, got to get her to lead the team next year.
The team will have to adjust to the gap left by graduating players.
It'll be hard to see them go, but they'll be back for games next year, and then this group over here sitting on the bench have to take over.
Dave Clark talks about the importance of the team staying after the final whistle.
I made sure that they stayed, especially for the younger players. Like, that's why they're sitting on the bench. I want them to watch this. I don't want them to walk away. I want them to go how they feel right now. That drives them on. So if they're, the goal may be they're in the weight room on Tuesday and they're training with Meg all week and they're training for something now. To go, now you know what it means. Now you know what it feels like to watch another team celebrate. I'm glad it's here and not at our place, but still it's a learning curve for them. That's what should drive them on. That's what should motivate them in the winter, in the spring, in the summer, pre-season, non-conference, conference, and then do it again. And in 12 months, hopefully they're the ones over there and they're watching us.
The Bobcats and their coach are looking forward to their next season. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Rose Carrata.
Coming off 2 conference wins, the Quinnipiac men's soccer team faced off against the Fairfield Stags on Wednesday. Win, and they're into the MAC tournament. Quinnipiac set to take on the Stags in early November soccer, the last game of the regular season for each of these 2 teams. Like I said, the stakes are enormous. Both teams fighting for a MAC playoff spot. All they got to do is win and they're in. First half, Quinnipiac looking to strike first. They set up Drew Seguro in front of the net, but Fairfield's Viktor Nikolov makes the leg save. A big effort for the Bobcats, keeps things tied up 0-0. Second half, Stags coming into the scoring. They score a goal, but then it's off to Andrew Montessarin for Quinnipiac. A nice, beautiful run, converting the look for a big-time goal. Montessarin scored the game winner against Niagara in Quinnipiac's last contest. How about some more first-year fun, though? This time, Frederick Moen gets a nice pass from Philip Kangeman. He's off and running, puts the ball past the outstretched Nikolov to take the lead. Quinnipiac up 2-1. How about some deja vu? Mate Saran puts another one past the goaltender, puts the nail in the coffin. That's 3 goals in 2 games for the first year, willing the Bobcats to the playoffs. Carl Netzel holding things down in net for the Bobcats. Only 1 goal allowed with 3 saves. Quinnipiac beats Fairfield for the first time since October 22 and find themselves in the playoffs. First time the Bobcats will make that MAC tournament in 2022, and when they did, they won the whole thing. And now the Bobcats will draw the number 5 seeded Marist Red Foxes as the 4 seed. They'll host a playoff tournament game. Last time they faced off against Marist, they lost 2-0 at home in the regular season.
Following his impressive performances in the last 2 games of the regular season, Montessarin was named the MAC Offensive Player of the Week and MAC Rookie of the Week. Along with his performance against Fairfield, Montessarin scored the game winner in the Bobcats' win over Niagara last Wednesday and has been a breakout spark during the Bobcats' playoff push. Montessarin and the Bobcats look to continue their success as they faced Marist in the MAC quarterfinals on Sunday. Number 4 Quinnipiac earned their home quarterfinals matchup against number 5 Marist, and as Ben mentioned, the last time these 2 teams faced off, Quinnipiac fell 1-2 and Marist came out on top. Quinnipiac looking for that revenge game. Heading to the first half, Marist started out on the attack. Red Foxes launch a ball into the box, and Arion Ulai settles it through the legs of João Pinto for the goal. Marist takes a 1-0 lead. Later in the half, Ulai sends a through ball to Kyle Evans. It's a breakaway chance, but Carl Netzel corrals the ball and defuses it. Still a 1-goal game. Towards the end of the half, Evans gets the ball and maneuvers around Netzel, but Paul Macias saves the day. Call him Superman. Marist ends the half up 1-0. Going into the second, Evan Marks goes around and hits the Sutter step while sending the ball across the box, but the shot goes wide. On the next play for Marist, TJ Wilder gets a little too aggressive there, knocking over Adam Rustaney, and Marist was awarded a penalty kick. Richard Morrell got it. The Red Foxes doubled their lead. It's 2-0. Time is ticking for the Bobcats. Corner kick opportunity. No Cabezas sends it wide and out of bounds. Then Heist Verhoel knocks Montessarin right into goalkeeper Jamie Lowell, and the refs give Verhoel the red card. On the ensuing free kick, Ramesh Del Sul sends it right into the net, putting the Bobcats on the board, but can they capitalize on that momentum? Time is ticking. Cabezas finds Montesserin, who puts a shot on net, but Lowell makes a miraculous save to keep Marist on top. That was inches away from tying the game. Lowell left the game with an injury after that, and backup goalie Dranel Irdrizzi is in. He gets tested immediately, but stands tall for Marist. With seconds left, Irdrizzi makes the save of his life, laying out to deflect the shot. Marist wins the match 2-1 and ends the Bobcats season, advancing to the MAC semifinals. They're elated and the Bobcats are heartbroken. Marist will play number 1 Iona next week, but that match was the definition of playoff soccer.
Despite the season-ending loss, 2 Bobcats were named to all-conference teams. Senior midfielder Noe Cabezas and junior goaltender Carl Netzel were named to the All-MAC third team. The NC State transfer tallied the 3rd most points on the team this season and scored 3 goals in 16 contests.
Netzel receives his second all-conference nod after being named to the All-MAC second team as a first year. The Swedish keeper had a career-high 39 saves and held a 7-8-1 record this season.
It's time to take our first break of the night, but when we return, we'll head to the hardwood. The men's basketball team faced off against a formidable foe in Rick Pitino and his red-hot St. John's Red Storm.
And the women's basketball team hosts the Harvard Crimson in its home opener, looking to improve to 2-0 on this season.
Men's ice hockey had a big home weekend against Dartmouth, and Harvard Sports Paws comes right back.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Heading up to Lender Court, the men's basketball team hosted Division III WPI in its home opener. The Bobcats bounced back from the loss to Yale, defeating the Engineers 71-47. 4 Bobcats scored double-digit points, most notably Paulo Tiena, who earned his first double-double of the season, scoring 14 points alongside 10 rebounds. Quinnipiac's bench provided 29 points, with first-year Jaden Zimmerman scoring 13 in the win.
Following its first win of the season, Quinnipiac loaded the bus and headed down to Queens, New York to face off against St. John's on Saturday. First Big East matchup for the Bobcats since 2018 in a battle of 2 old friends, Tom Pecora and Rick Pitino. Both are former MAC coaches of the year, with Pitino winning it at Iona.
Into the first, Ryan Mabry from way downtown, he cashes the 3 for the Bobcats.
A minute later, want to see him do it again? Step over, shakes a Johnny, and Mabry drains the shot.
Still in the first half, let's keep it going with Mabry. He drills another 3 top of the key. 5 for 5 from 3 to start this game, 15 points in the first half.
But St. John's would respond. Brady Dunlap can shoot it too. Corner 3 with a hand in his face, doesn't matter, it's good.
Davon Smith with the steal. Johnny's coast to coast. RJ Lewis throws it down. 36-32 Quinnipiac.
But Quinnipiac keeps the pressure on. It's fenced way too easy for the Englishman. Bobcats lead 39-35 at the half.
Johnny's picking it up in the second half. Dunlap, corner three, gives it an emphasis of Paws and knocks it down. 59-52 St. John's.
Bobcats can't buy a rebound, and Vince Uwocheko will drop the hammer, 59-50, extending the lead to 16.
And just as things are starting to carry away, Simon Wilcher throws down the transition dunk for the Johnnies.
And they're not done. Dunlap cannot miss. He had 5 threes of his own in this one, finishing with 20.
St. John's pulls this one away with a 61-point second half. They go on to win 96-73, and the Bobcats will be back in Hamden to take on Maine this weekend. Both on and off the court, Tom Pecora and Rick Pitino go way back. Q30's Becky Calkins has the story on their long-standing friendship.
Despite the loss, it wasn't all negatives for Quinnipiac head coach Tom Pecora, as Pecora returned to the Lou Carnesecca Arena to take on his old friend, Rick Pitino.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, I grew up 3 miles from here. As a kid, I snuck in here. The ushers in the back used to let me come in with a ticket from an old game. You know, all me and my buddies, they would always let us in, and you'd sit all the way up top and watch Coach Carnesecca's team.
Pecora, who has known Pitino for over 3 decades, mentioned how important their friendship was in the timing of this game.
I'm very close with the staff, you know, all those guys, and it was nice of them to bring us in, especially this early in the year. Rick wanted to wait and do it more close in Christmas, but I kind of asked a favor for us to do it early, and he's a good friend. He wanted me to go grab a drink with him now, but I'm on the bus with the team, so I'm not going to be doing that. I need to be around my guys.
After Pecora turned down drinks with Pitino postgame, the St. John's head coach had something special in hand for the press conference, telling the bartender to pour him a triple shot after what was a very hard-fought 23-point win that had the Bobcats leading at halftime. Despite the final score being a blowout, Pitino's admiration for Tom Pecora still runs deep.
I've always respected Tom Pecora for 30 years. Paid his dues. He's a terrific coach. Always been. He did a great job at Florida. Should have never, ever fired him at Florida.
While the coaching matchup was a spotlight, the players are the ones who play the game, and there's only so much the two on the bench can do to help their teams.
I didn't know what time to tell him. He always go play zone. I knew what he'd do offensively. And I told the team this. I've never scored a bucket in my coaching career.
Quinnipiac will take on the Maine Black Bears back at home in Hamden next Friday. For Q30 Sports, I'm Becky Calkins.
Tony, let's stay on the basketball court.
The Quinnipiac women's team hosted Harvard on Saturday. Last season, the Crimson beat the Bobcats on the road. Could they get revenge?
Harvard enters this game coming off a win against number 25 Indiana. Big win for them. Captain Jackie Grisdale for the Bobcats, though, ready to start after her season-ending injury last year.
After the Bobcats won the tip-off, Gal Revive is in the paint. She'll go and dish it out to Carson Martin, and she'll drain the three. At the end of the first, Harvard led 13-8.
Time for the Jackie Grisdale show in the second quarter. First play, Anna Foley, top of the key, finds Grisdale for the three, knocks it down. Next play, Revive gets it back to Grisdale. It's nothing but net, 16-13 Quinnipiac.
Martin with a steal in quick transition. She finds Grisdale in her spot, and once again, it goes in, cutting into the paint. Coming up, she'll cut into the paint, and she'll hit Grisdale with no one on her, and Grisdale will make that layup.
With less than a minute left, Revive finds Grisdale again outside. You guessed it, Jackie Grisdale knocks down the triple. How about another one?
Revive hits Grisdale in the third, who finds an open Foley at the top of the key. She'll hit a three. It's her first of the season.
Not only shooting it, but passing the ball as well. Quick transition from the Bobcats. Grisdale can't leave her that wide open. That's another three. Career high 33 points for Grisdale. She sets the single program record.
And in that fourth quarter, Grisdale, this is her 7-3 here. Well, she'll drain it off a pass from Ella O'Donnell, and that is also her last three of the game. The Bobcats defeat the Crimson 76-53 to improve to 2-0 on the season, and will look to continue next week against Princeton.
Tony, after Grisdale's lights-out performance, you had the opportunity to speak with her and her teammates.
Yeah, here's what Grisdale's career day meant to them.
Last season, Bobcat guard Jackie Grisdale sat out the majority of the season with a leg injury. In her second game back, she scored a career-high 33 points, including 7 3-pointers. This puts Grisdale at number 1 in threes in a single game since Quinnipiac became Division I in 1998. But Grisdale wasn't focused on her own records today. She just wanted to step up for her team against Harvard, which led to her performance.
I really think it comes back to the belief. I didn't shoot super well in our first game, but this whole week in practice and then even today before the game, like some of my teammates were like, Jackie, just shoot the ball. Like, believe in yourself. Like, if you catch it, you're open, shoot it. And really, like, having their support and their belief in me, that their trust just really helped me today.
And while Coach Fabry described today as a historic game for Grisdale, she says Grisdale doesn't focus on those individual stats and instead just doing what she can for this team.
She is our leader. It was so hard for her to handle missing the season last year, and her drive and desire as well to be her best for her team to become their best. It's second to none.
Grisdale will look to continue this performance as the Bobcats take on Princeton on Saturday. For Q30 Sports, I'm Tony Wetmore. After her career best performance, Grisdale was named the MAC Player of the Week after leading the Bobcats to their first 2-0 start since 2016. Through 2 games, she's averaging over 20 points a game on 58% shooting from the field. The senior from Portland, Ohio, is 3rd in the conference in points per game and leads the MAC in three-pointers made. It's Grisdale's first career MAC Weekly Award.
Pretty impressive stuff. The Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team returned home to jumpstart ECAC play.
The Bobcats hosted the Dartmouth Big Green on Friday night. The last time Dartmouth defeated Quinnipiac in regulation was 2018.
The Big Green picked up 2 wins last weekend against Harvard and Stonehill. They look to disappoint the Hamden faithful. Quinnipiac donning the white salute to service alternative jerseys this weekend, and they look pretty clean.
We'll skip ahead to the second period, and yes, they do look very clean, Ben. It was a battle for the puck along the near side boards. Jack Silverberg digs it out, flicks it up to Alex Krause, who puts it behind Dylan Silverstein. One Calabasas native beats the other, and the Big Green take a 1-0 lead.
Later in the period, odd man rush, spinning pass from Sean Chisholm to Nikita Nakora, and they go back to Chisholm to full Silverstein, and Dartmouth up 2-0 early.
But the Bobcats would respond. Mason Marcellus rips it from the point, and off the rebound, Jeremy Wilbur hits the jackpot. Wilmer's 4th goal of the season. Quinnipiac cuts the deficit in half.
Bobcats trying to turn things around in the third period. Passing the puck around, Braden Blaze finds Tyler Borgula, and he rips it top corner. The rookie forward ties this game at 2 with his 5th goal of the season. The Bobcats have some momentum now on their home ice.
But it wouldn't last long, Ben, as Dartmouth would go on to strike again on the power play. John Fusco fires it home off the post. The Big Green are back on top.
And here they put it out of reach. CJ Foley fires at the length of the rink for the empty netter. And the Big Green defeat Quinnipiac 4-2. It's their first win in Hamden since, get this, 2010. Quinnipiac drops their ECAC home opener.
That wouldn't be it for the Bobcats against the Ivy League. The very next day, it's the Harvard Crimson in town, and they're coming off a thrilling overtime win against Princeton. Quinnipiac looks to avoid 3 straight losses at home, which hasn't happened since 2014. Marinov gets his first start since Maine.
First period, Harvard seeing red. Ben McDonald had a goal. E-I-E-I-O. Crimson, they're up 1-0.
And he's looking for a second one. He steals the puck in transition. McDonald fires, but Marinov slams the barn doors for the save.
Let's jump to the second. Crimson still on the attack. It's Lucas St. Louis who finds the back of the net off the rebound. Harvard doubles the lead. That's his first NCAA goal, 2-0.
An empty netter makes this one 3-0. It's the first time since 2022 the Bobcats have been shut out at home. Here's what Rand Pecknold had to say.
And then they were committed. That was a playoff game for them. We hadn't lost to Dartmouth in 14 years at home till last night, and then it's been a while. I don't know how long, but we hadn't lost to Harvard for a while at home either. So, but that's something we're gonna face. Like, we've just had a pretty good run here and beaten a lot of teams, and there's guys in this league that go 4 years without beating us. So.
The team fell down to number 19 in today's USCHO poll, out of the top 15 for the first time since 2020. It's time to take our last break of the night. When we return, the women's ice hockey team hit the road for more ECAC play against Dartmouth and Harvard. Could they remain undefeated in conference play?
And volleyball celebrates senior day in Burt Conn Court.
To close out the night, we've got top 5 plays.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own.
And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking with us. Let's stay on the ice, Ben, as the women's ice hockey team hit the road this weekend.
On Friday night, the Bobcats were able to defeat the Dartmouth Big Green 2-1 in overtime. Jenna Donahue got a little payback on her own team, scoring the game winner. Lawrence Fournette also scored her third goal of the season against the Big Green. Despite the loss, Dartmouth's goaltender Michaela Hesova made 30 saves.
After defeating Dartmouth, Quinnipiac went down to Cambridge and outlasted the Harvard Crimson 1-0. Kendall Cooper scored the only goal for both sides in the contest in the third period. Kaylee Doyle registered 15 saves against the Crimson. With the win, head coach Cass Turner earned her 200th career win as a head coach.
After the weekend sweep, the Bobcats remain at the number 7 spot in this week's USCHO poll. Wisconsin remains at number 1 with 20 first-place votes. St. Cloud's jumps up 1 spot to number 8, as St. Lawrence drops down to number 9. Boston College also leaps 2 spots ahead, falling at number 11 following a weekend sweep over Maine.
Jumping over to Burt Conn Court, the Quinnipiac volleyball team hosted Siena and Marist this weekend. The Saints pushed the Bobcats to 5 sets. However, Quinnipiac was able to come away with the win thanks to Yammer Ganesh's 23-kill effort. The Bobcats outperformed the Saints on the service line, recording 11 service aces to Siena's 4 aces. With the win, Quinnipiac sweeps Siena on the season.
The Bobcats made it 3 in a row on Sunday, sweeping the Marist Red Foxes in 3 straight sweeps. Ganesh led Quinnipiac in kills again on Sunday, recording 18. Taylor Miller led the Red Foxes with 13 kills respectively. The Bobcats close out the regular season in New York, taking on Iona and Manhattan before finalizing their seeding for the MAC tournament.
Then we reached the most exciting part of the night, the top 5 plays of the week.
Buckle in, crank the volume up, and get ready for a top 5 read that'll hit you like a freight train of awesomeness. Play number 5, men's basketball. Alexis Reyes backing it down in the paint, kicks it out to Ryan Mabry, who drains the 3 from NBA range. Bobcats lose 96-73.
At 4, volleyball taking on Siena. Corolla Negron Diaz sends it over for the Bobcats. Siena tries to defend, but it's blocked by Alexandra Tenon. The Bobcats would win 3 sets to 2.
Play number 3, back to the hardwood. Jackie Grisdale show. Catches it in front of Harvard's bench, drains the triple. Quinnipiac's 2nd win of the season. They're red hot.
Number 2, women's ice hockey on the road at Dartmouth. Kendall Cooper drops to Jenna Donahue, who toe drags past the defender and wrists the puck top shelf for the overtime winner. That's the Bobcats' 9th win of the season.
Show starts with soccer, show ends with soccer. Play number 1, Courtney Chokol, beautiful goal over Canisius' goalkeeper. We gotta take a second look at that one in the semifinals. Just gently places it right where it needs to go. The Bobcats win that game, but lose the finals.
Many exciting plays for the Bobcats, and that will wrap up our coverage on Sports Paws tonight. Thank you to all the producers and staff working hard behind the scenes.
Make sure to stay up to date with everything on Q30 Television social media. For Tony Wetmore, I'm Ben Rukavicius signing off from Studio 125. Have a great night, Bobcats.